This past weekend, there was an audio show here in Bali. Very rare to have audio shows here in Bali, but this was one organized by CSZone.id, also sponsored by Bass Audio, Sound Dignity, and Beyond the Music. So go follow them on their socials. I found out about this show very last second, so I didn't have any time to prepare. I ended up just going. So glad I did. Went ahead with the goal to try as many IEMs as I possibly could, as many headphones. I met so many cool people there, tried so much cool stuff. I just wanted to compile all my thoughts that I had into this one video and share it with you guys on here on YouTube. So please do enjoy. Keep in mind, I'm a bit of an audio novice, so if I get any details wrong or if I misname some IEMs, please feel free to let me know in the comments below and I'll try to correct it. Okay, we've got Audio Technica R3000X. It's the R50X, R30X, and what is this, 7000?
7,000.
Alright, 7000. So I tried all these. This one was a bit muddy actually, I didn't quite like that. These two were pretty similar, but they were a bit muddy, both of them. But the 3000X, by far, was the best. Not muddy, pretty clear. They could be a little bit sibilant for some people, I think, but I'm pretty used to the sibilance, to be honest. But yeah, I've sort of killed my own sibilant sensitivity. But this is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. P-chat triple cable goes to 1/4 inch. I'm listening to them through these XDO5s, so these are also quite sensitive too. I don't know what the resistance on these are, but like when I plug these in after the M30, M50, they were blasted super loud. So I don't know, maybe if it's such a setting with this amp. But yeah, these were quite good. These are definitely my favorite ones. Here at the CSI zone. I'm here at the Audio Technica table. So we tried the 30 and the 50X at the other table, but I just tried the 70X just now. It's a little bit muddy, but definitely better than the other two. And then I did some A/B testing with this stack and some tubes with the ATH M50X right here. I can tell that these were a little bit brighter, while this is a tiny bit warmer, but the higher end seemed a little bit more recessed. It's kind of hard because I didn't really spend too much time with it. But it's definitely an interesting feeling. It definitely feels quite different. These are real tubes too. So I've always wanted tubes, but now that I've tried it, I'm not quite sure anymore. Definitely if I was using something more higher power like the HHR3000 or 7000, maybe I would get a pair of tubes too. But for stuff like this, I don't know. I kind of preferred just straight DAC with this. But if I was trying the ATH R3000X or the 7000X back from the other table that I tried earlier, I wish I could try those with these. Because I think that might be like the perfect pairing. Especially with anything that's like a little bit aggravating or a little bit sibilant, I think this might do better with. Out here, out of the CSI zone, collaboration with Level 99, we've got these Distant Mountain. When I first tried these on, I was really impressed. There's so much bass. The voice sounds very clear. And then as the song went on, the upper end kind of seems to disappoint. It feels like it should be a little bit brighter, a little bit overly warm. It's quite nicely colored. It does impress you for the first like 15-20 seconds that you're wearing it, and then after a little bit, you start to like poke holes. You know, like the bass is a little bit muddy, and I don't know. I still kind of would like these, but like I listened to Mac Miller's "What's the Use," and the bass in the very beginning, and then his voice comes in, very good, and then the melodies start rolling in, and it starts kind of falling apart. But these are interesting. Straight up China Chi-Fi, kind of an interesting set right here. Quite like it. Heiser Hi-Fi, hello. Trying out the HD Beat 630 and the Momentum 4s. So I tried both of these, kind of like back-to-back A/B testing. The Momentum 4s, I see a lot of them online. I've actually tried these before at another store. They're not quite good. They're like your generic headphone tuning where it's quite, I don't know, muddy, overemphasis on the bass, and everything just doesn't feel too together. but they do sound okay. If you're coming from like the Beats or AirPod Pros, they sound pretty similar to course. So I wasn't really looking, I tried these and I wasn't really looking forward to trying the 630s. But the 630s were actually quite a bit better than I expected. They're quite a bit more of your traditional headphone tuning in terms of hi-fi brand, but they look exactly the same. So it's quite interesting how like they look almost exactly. Which one of these are more expensive? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, they're way better. Yeah, they're so much better. Yeah, so yeah, that makes sense. Hey, video. What's your name?
Teddy.
Teddy. Nice to meet you. Let's see. So what are these?
This is Dan Clark Audio Noir X.
Noir X.
A close back planner.
Listening it through
made by Dan Clark.
Next to you. Definitely, so far, the best sounding headphones. Basically anything that I've heard today so far. These are just like super airy too, but they got a lot of kick to them still. Really impressed by these.
It's a close back, but doesn't really sound narrow.
No, yeah, it's very wide. Yeah, I've always been pretty adverse to closed backs, but these are like really next level, really good. Test songs, test tracks. We did a little bit of metal, but also Street Fighter Mask. Oh my god, there's like details in there that really come through so well. But it's super. The resolution is just incredible with these. Yeah.
But don't forget, it's also
Super
because
good.
the deck amp is also excellent.
And then doing some A/B testing, we used the Onyx here, but look at what I found. This is a sailing portable amp, and it's attachable tube amp. Just jumping in here because the audio is so loud, the background. I just tried these with like no external amp DAC, just straight out of my phone, and they were amazing, like so good. Still, just straight out of my phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's MK921.
Oh yeah, for YouTube, yeah.
Kinda creamy.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
Actually, White Switch is our bestseller right now.
It's really good, yeah. Yangxi,
Yeah.
we got these modular cables.
Yes.
We got the, what's it, 0.74, 0.78 millimeter MMCX, and then the other ones too. I'm here at the Kafine stand, trying out a few of their models actually. So I tried the Kafine Clean Type C and the R9. I didn't try the Delcia or the Coatio. I've tried those before actually at other shows. I've never tried the Clean before, even though it's a really common and super popular IEM. Try these on today. I don't know, maybe it's because they have these are the Tangzu Warner Jade inserts. These sound really good. Like, I don't know if it's just this whole setup. It sounds so good, like out of this DSP. I don't remember them sounding that good before. I don't know if it's because the DSP is much better, but I've tried them Type C through like my own amp and everything, but I don't remember them sounding as good as they do now. So maybe I have to look into this Type C version. And I was trying it through my friend's tube from the other shop, from the other stand. So yeah, really, I just, poor guy, I really just stole his tube amp to try to listen to it too. Could be the amp as well, actually no, because I listened to it through here. But yeah, I was really impressed by this. Oh, and then this is probably the best one. This is the best stand because look, they give me free ear tips. That's so neat. Look at this guy. Look. Free ear tips? Come on. That's sick. At the BQEZ stand, I was trying out the bone conduction headphones, which I think was the Winter 2. They have bone conduction, bass head level headphones. Very interesting sounding. They're quite clear, but they are so overly bassy. I couldn't really enjoy them as much. I did sense a bit of the bone conduction, but it's not so similar as like the ones that you would expect from Skull Candy, like the Candy Crushers, or the bone conduction open ear headphones that you see. They're quite, it's still there, but they're not quite as powerful as you would expect. Also try these Frost too. These are quite interesting because they both sound very mid-forward, but they're also very like V-shaped, so you have a lot of really bright sparkle and a bit of a bass. So it's really hard to like pin this one down. I was listening to a bit of jazz and a bit of Mac Miller, and Mac Miller sounded really bass forward, but that's just the way the song is sort of like mastered and mixed. Meanwhile, the jazz tracks I was listening to were quite super wide. Yeah, kind of impressed with these. I haven't had the time to check out the rest of them, but these are something to maybe watch out for. I don't think they're for everyone. I think it's a very specific taste that has to go with music pairing. But you know, an interesting set of IEMs. I don't think I would ever get them because, like, yeah, the mids when they're forward, they're very muddy and very forward. But I was listening to them just through here, and not through like a proper DAC or anything. So maybe that's why. I'm here at the Rio C. We just tried out the collab. This is the collab one, right?
Yes.
So Rio C collabed with what is it? 7A. There we go. Oops. That's how do. 7 Acoustics. Oh yeah. That's right. QA. Very very good texture with this one too. So I listened to it through here, sourced through this Muse Hi-Fi. Well, what's it called again? Oh my god. Tube amp, right? Type C tube amp. Very nicely textured too. Like honestly, a very good combo these two. I haven't tried these on their own yet too, but great texture. And the tuning is just right for me. I think these remind me a little bit of the Crinier Daybreaks, but with a bit more texture. The resolution is pretty much the same. The tune is basically pretty much the same. I mean, I don't know what the graph looks like, but these are quite interesting and they're very good. Definitely one to look out for. That's the box right there. Here at the Fat Freak, we've got here doing a showcase for the Master SCs. These are the monitoring sets for studio monitorings for musicians on stage, and then this is all the musical stuff for listening. You do molds, right? Like custom molds. So these are like you're able once you pick a certain set, he'll do like a custom mold of your ear, which is why we actually have this really cool set right here. But I've tried a few of these. I've tried these. They're all quite warm. The Grand Maestro though, the texture on these, there's so much texture. It's like incredible. Like, by the way, what are these?
So this is the Grand Maestro Anniversary Founders Edition.
Oh.
This is a module that can be detached, and this specific module is tuned for this unit here specifically.
What does it do?
So this module is called the Super Stage module. It helps you to increase better headroom, tonal positioning. Feels like you're in a theater. And the main difference between this one here and this one here is the way the housing is done. Same material as all these here, which helps to affect the resonance.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so like staging kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, I want to try that. So far, hands down though, these are probably the best IEMs I've heard today so far. So I'll just keep that in mind. Staying up here, Fat Freak, super cool. Right, back here, it's not the Rio C. I tried the T Pro and then the Top Pro. Actually, this is the top. No, this is the T Pro. This is wait, let me just look. Oh wait, it doesn't have the name. T Pro, Top Pro. Top Pro is quite a bit warmer than the T Pro, but they're both tuned quite well. They're both very good. Strong bass, like it. Honestly, I would be very happy with both of these. These are a bit warmer, right? But they're both like, I'd be very happy with both. I also tried this. So interesting about that. So this is the Tanchim DAC amp, right? And I was trying the Muse Hi-Fi DAC. This is a tube amp actually. Weird thing about this actually cuts out some of the sibilance, but also makes things a little less bright and sparkly. And I kind of prefer this instead. I actually don't really like this. Another thing I figured out. So the buddy next to me also let me try out his Theo Audio Monarch V4. Really, the tuning is perfect. The resolution is quite good, but both the resolution and the texture aren't as good as the ones that I've tried earlier. But yeah, it was very interesting. Very good. Cool table. Here I'm at the Crinier table. We're trying out all of these. So we've got the Crinier Daybreak, the Reference, the Monolith, the Meta, and then a few amps here. I tried all these. By far, the Daybreak is my favorite. Everything else is quite warm. These are super warm, the monoliths. These are technically the flagships by Critical. Very, very warm. Not really a huge fan, but they are interesting to listen to. Just trying these are, what's it called? Reference. These are the reference headphones. Very flat. Not good at all for music, but like, you know, for editing, right? The Meta, right? Very, very neutral. So it's not very exciting. There's not a lot of airiness. There's not a lot of bass. It's just quite alright. But these Daybreaks, though, these are so much fun. I came here to see if they had the Zero Reds, because those were the ones that I was excited to try. But I haven't found a pair here to try yet. So I'm gonna keep looking. These are so interesting. And then we were actually talking about warm headphones. So he let me try these. These are the Akio. I think it's Akio, right? Aiko. So warmer than everything else on the table. But I tried a bit of jazz. Pianos here sound so amazing. Incredible pianos. But like, I wouldn't listen to these for anything else. The bass especially, you could really hear how warm they are. Quite a bit warmer. Like, noticeably warmer than these oh my god, what they call it? Triple Win Vivace. And these are already quite warm, like as warm as I would go. So it's very interesting. Anyways, thank you so much for letting me try. Critical. I'm out here at the Dunu table, trying out these 6. Dunu Da Vinci sound the best to me. Everything else had a little bit. The test track I was using was Takio Kuroda's Midnight Crisp. There's a lot of horns, a lot of drums, you know, your typical like jazz improv. A lot of these had a little bit of too much sibilance or a little over representation in the horns or the drums. He plays the trumpet a lot, and sometimes they're a little too harsh for my taste. These were the most pleasant to my ears. Compared to the Red Lions, for everything, the Red Lions, the lower mids were quite underrepresented with these, while everything else, not the lower mids actually, more like the mids in general and little upper mids were a little underrepresented with these, while everything else they're quite much more balanced. These by far were my favorite out of all of these. I think, what is this? What did I do? The Dunu, I forget what these are called. The 142s, Dunu 6, the Dunu 242, which we're gonna try these as well, and Dunu 6S. Here. These were definitely my favorite ones. Let me reorganize it. And I tried their 2 amps as well. And then while I'm here at the Dunu, I actually tried these. The sound stack right here using the Dunu Arashi planar magnetic ribbons. They are quite wide. They are like, I don't know. I don't really listen to a lot of planars, but they're very warm. And they're so wide though, like incredibly wide open backs. I do quite like them. It's a very interesting auditory experience, but it's very warm. It's very, very warm. I'd say they're about as warm as my Triple and Vivace, but so much wider. So yeah, very interesting experience. Good sense. We're gonna do this right here as well. We got a microphone too. I'm doing the table. To the Kuping Tensei table here to try out all the KZ, GK stuff and give my thoughts on these 3. So I've tried the Streaks, Caster Pros, and the GK Quintons. So out of all 3 of these, I actually like the GK Quintons the most. These were the most exciting, but the Caster Pro and the Streak, they're both quite sibilant. Sort of like around like the 8K, 7K, 8K, or 9K hertz frequency. They're a little bit aggravating to my ears, but that's just me. That might be a different thing. And with these, you could actually have the switches to change the tuning, but I was not able to actually change the tuning itself because like I don't have to smell my fingers for that. But I'm kind of surprised by the GKs too, because like they're just like sort of cool out of the box. Keep in mind, like I had different ear tips for all these. So these were like the wide board top ends. And these had the really fat ear tips, but these had like ear tips that worked the best for me. It's quite cool. It's accurate, bro. Okay, sensei board. At the Celeste stand, hello. Trying out the new Soul. These are gaming headphones. Try these out. This is the Type C variant, right? So it has DSP or no DSP?
Yeah, the default is DSP.
Default DSP on this, and they sound really pleasant, like super pleasant, like super inoffensive. Not the most exciting sound in the world, but they're quite pleasant. They come. This is the stock ear tip, yeah.
This is the
Stock ear tip, wide bore, but they're still quite bassy, so it's really cool. Yeah, I'll have to come to that. I also tried these like super kilobuck IEMs. These were like pushing 10 grand, but I wasn't really that impressed with them. I thought they were really really good, but they weren't like. I prefer the Grand Maestros over these, but those were sort of like more bassy, more fun. These were a little more. Maybe the technicalities were better, but my ears just couldn't pick that up. If they were any better, and I like the texture of the Grand Maestros more. And that about wraps it up for this video. I am so happy I went to one of these events. I can't thank the organizers and all the vendors and all the community for showing up and coming to one of these. It was a great time. I highly recommend anyone who's out there who's interested in this to go to one of these. You'll meet a bunch of cool friends, a bunch of nice people. Everyone's so friendly. I tried to put over 100 sets at this event on this one day. There's a lot I wish I had gotten to that I didn't get to. All the truthier stuff, I didn't make a video on that. I just completely forgot, but I didn't really have much to say about them. They just weren't really for me. Same with the Tin Hi-Fi stuff and Tash Gym and some of the other Tri-Fi stuff I didn't really like. The big standouts for me were the Confine Clean USB-C variant with the DSP. Those like really impressed me. I think I might be looking for a pair of those coming up. Also, really like the Daybreaks. I really like the Orioke ones and a bunch of the others I thought were really impressive. The Dunu, what's it called, Da Vinci's. But by far, I think I'm gonna go for the Confine Cleans. I think that's my next upgrade. And then the best set, the best things I heard, better than all the kilo, like the super kilo buck stuff, was by far the Grand Maestro. And also, I was super impressed. I might even look for those Dan Clark audio close back planers as well, because those really blew me away. And he got them for like only $400. He got them like for half the price of retail. So I'll have to look for those, somewhere. But that's about it. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some insight into this. And, these are all my opinions, so take everything with a grain of salt. And I'm no pro or expert. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in the next convention.